Have you ever been told you're too sensitive? Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt the emotional atmosphere, the tension, the sadness, the unspoken anger, as if it were your own? Have you ever left a conversation feeling completely drained because you absorbed someone else's emotions so strongly? If so, you've probably been called, or you've called yourself, an empath. It's a comforting label. It explains why crowds exhaust you. It explains why other people's pain hurts you so deeply. It explains why you need so much alone time to recover. But today, I want to offer you something different, something much deeper and more empowering. If Carl Jung were sitting here with you right now, and you told him, "I'm an empath," he would listen with great interest. And then he would probably say something like this: "You are not just an empath. You are a person whose psyche is unusually open to the unconscious, and that openness is both a heavy burden and a tremendous opportunity, but only if you learn to work with it consciously instead of being overwhelmed by it." In this in-depth video, we're going to explore why the modern label empath might actually be limiting you, and what Carl Jung would say instead. We'll go deep into his ideas about sensitivity, the unconscious, projection, the collective psyche, and the real path to turning your sensitivity into strength and wisdom. If you're tired of feeling overwhelmed by other people's emotions, if you want to understand your sensitivity from a much deeper psychological and spiritual perspective, then hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications. This might be one of the most important videos you watch this year. Let's begin. The modern empath movement became very popular in the last 15 to 20 years. People use the term to describe someone who feels other people's emotions so strongly that it affects their own energy, mood, and well-being. Many describe themselves as emotional sponges who absorb everything around them: joy, sadness, anger, anxiety. Carl Jung never used the word empath. He died in 1961, but he spent his entire career studying people who had exactly these experiences. People who were unusually sensitive to the moods, emotions, and unconscious energies of others. So what would Jung actually say about someone who identifies as an empath? He would acknowledge the reality of your experience, but he would encourage you to go much deeper than the label. He would say that what you're experiencing is a permeable psyche, a mind that has thinner boundaries between the personal conscious and the larger unconscious, both personal and collective. This permeability can make life very difficult, but it can also become a source of great wisdom, creativity, and healing ability if you learn to work with it consciously. Jung would warn you that simply calling yourself an empath and trying to protect yourself from other people's energy is not enough. In fact, it might keep you stuck in a passive position. He would invite you into the much richer journey of individuation, the process of becoming your true, whole self, by integrating the unconscious parts of your personality. Let's explore this step by step. Why the empath label can be limiting. First, the label empath often turns a psychological process into a fixed identity. You say, "I'm an empath," the same way someone might say, "I'm an introvert." It becomes who you are. Jung would see this as potentially dangerous because it can stop you from doing the inner work. Instead of asking, "How can I become more conscious of what I'm absorbing?" you accept, "This is just how I am." Second, the modern empath concept often focuses only on protection, shielding, boundaries, cleansing your energy. While these things can be helpful, Jung believed the real solution is not to close yourself off, but to become more conscious of the unconscious material you are taking in. Third, many people use the empath label to avoid looking at their own shadow. They say, "I feel everyone's pain," without asking whether some of that pain is actually their own repressed emotions being triggered by others. Jung would gently challenge you to look deeper. Jung's view on sensitivity. Jung described several psychological types and phenomena that relate closely to what people today call being an empath. He spoke about introverted intuitive types, people who are naturally attuned to the inner world, symbols, patterns, and the unconscious atmosphere in any situation. These individuals often feel overwhelmed in groups because they are picking up unconscious material that others are not aware of. He also explored the idea of participation mystique, a state where the boundary between self and other becomes blurred. In this state, you don't just observe someone's emotion, you participate in it. You feel it as if it were your own. Jung warned that when this happens unconsciously, it can lead to emotional overwhelm, confusion, and even what he called psychic infection. But he also believed that when this sensitivity is made conscious, it becomes a powerful tool for psychological and spiritual growth. The deeper Jungian explanation. Jung would likely say that what you call empathic ability is often a combination of several things: high sensitivity to the unconscious, both your personal unconscious and the collective unconscious; strong projection mechanisms. You unconsciously take on other people's repressed emotions, their shadow; an open or wounded psyche. Many highly sensitive people have early wounds that made their psychological boundaries thinner. The wounded healer archetype, a powerful inner pattern where people who have suffered deeply become natural healers for others. The key point is this: Jung would not stop at the label empath. He would invite you to explore why your psyche is so open and what you are meant to do with that openness. This is where the real work begins. Let's look at some very common patterns so you can clearly see this playing out in everyday life. The woman who always attracts emotionally unavailable men. She often says, "All the good men are taken," or "Men are afraid of commitment." In reality, her animus, inner masculine, is terrified of vulnerability and true intimacy. She unconsciously chooses partners who mirror her own fear of closeness. Her inner masculine side is cold and distant, so she keeps attracting men who act the same way. The man who always attracts dramatic or emotionally chaotic women. He complains, "I always end up with crazy women." His anima is highly emotional and chaotic, but completely repressed. He appears calm and logical on the outside, but his unconscious craves the emotional intensity he denies in himself. So he keeps attracting women who express what he cannot. The nice guy who gets friend-zoned. He is kind, supportive, and reliable, yet women lose interest or friend-zone him. His animus is weak and underdeveloped. He lacks healthy assertiveness, direction, and masculine energy. Women sense this lack unconsciously and feel no deep magnetic pull. The strong, independent woman who attracts passive or needy men. She is successful, driven, and self-sufficient, but keeps attracting passive partners who lean on her emotionally. Her animus is overdeveloped. She's in masculine mode all the time, while her feminine side is starved. She attracts men who carry the receptive, emotional energy she has rejected. These patterns are not random. They are unconscious projections, trying to force you to integrate your missing inner opposite. The deeper Jungian explanation. Jung would likely say that what you call empathic ability is often a combination of several things. High sensitivity to the unconscious, both your personal unconscious and the collective unconscious. Strong projection mechanisms. You unconsciously take on other people's repressed emotions, their shadow. An open or wounded psyche. Many highly sensitive people have early wounds that made their psychological boundaries thinner. The wounded healer archetype, a powerful inner pattern where people who have suffered deeply become natural healers for others. The key point is this: Jung would not stop at the label empath. He would invite you to explore why your psyche is so open and what you are meant to do with that openness. Practical ways to work with your sensitivity. The Jungian way, instead of just protecting yourself from energy, Jung would encourage you to develop a conscious relationship with it. Here are some powerful practices. 1. Differentiation. Learn to ask, is this emotion mine, or am I picking it up from someone else? This single practice can dramatically reduce emotional overwhelm. 2. Shadow work. Many of the emotions you absorb are actually triggering your own repressed material. Working with your shadow reduces how much you unconsciously take on from others. 3. Active imagination. Have regular dialogues with the inner figures that appear in your dreams or when you feel overwhelmed. 4. Strengthening the ego-self axis. Build a stronger sense of your own center so you're not so easily flooded by external energies. 5. Creative expression channel. the sensitivity into art, writing, music, or healing work. Jung believed creative expression was one of the best ways to integrate unconscious material. Common obstacles and how to overcome them. Resistance. This feels weird. Start small, 10 minutes a day. Shame. I shouldn't need this. Remember, every human has both energies. Impatience. Why isn't anything changing? Integration takes months, not days. Carl Jung would not simply call you an empath. He would say you are a person whose psyche is open to the depths. Now the question is, will you remain overwhelmed by it, or will you learn to work with it consciously and turn it into your greatest strength? Thank you so much for watching this entire video. If this message helped you see your sensitivity in a new and empowering way, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Comment the word deeper below and tell me one insight you're taking away from this video. I read every comment. In future videos, we'll explore more of Jung's ideas on sensitivity, the unconscious, and the path of individuation. Until then, remember, your sensitivity is not the problem. Staying unconscious with it is. Take care, and keep doing the inner work.